Ba-ba-boom, oh yeah, boom. Ba-ba-boom, say what? Boom. Ba-ba-boom, cool, yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Larry's Pop Pod. I'm Chris Larry.
I'm Amelia Larry.
And today we've got two real big subjects. One, we're going to be joined by friend of the pod, Nico Mitchell. And we're going to have another segment from the Radio 321 crew. We'll be looking at a little Olympics recap, Winter Olympic recap. So that's on tap for today. One, we have a winner in our iTunes review contest. They win a Brooklyn bandana, and that is David and Mariella. So congrats, David and Mariella. Thank you all that gave reviews to us on iTunes. We'll be running some more contests in the future, but we really appreciate that. Right, Amelia?
Yeah.
And we will be right back with our review of Black Panther with Nico Mitchell after this word from Brooklyn Bandanas.
Brooklyn Bandanas, get out and get one today. Brooklyn Bandanas, no time to waste, hooray. You can wipe your tears if you're feeling blue. Avoid a redneck and attract one too. You can hail a cab, wave it in the air, put it in your back pocket, shake it ear to ear. You can wrap it, wear it, dab it, tie it, hold it, knot it, wave it, buy it. Brooklyn Bandanas, get out and get one today.
Go to www.brooklynbandanas.com to get yours today.
All right, and welcome back. We are joined by Nico Mitchell, friend of the pod, and a regular movie commentator. I think you reviewed the Star Wars trailer with us. You did Guardians of the Galaxy 2 reviews, so you're kind of like our go-to movie guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely the go-to movie guy.
All right, and we're going to be talking about Black Panther in this segment. Black Panther is the newest Marvel Universe movie, kind of in that Avengers universe, and it has been a huge hit. It's around the world, literally made hundreds of millions of dollars. Critics are loving it. Fans are loving it. It's just a giant hit. And we got into the act, and we all saw it just recently. Nico, why don't you tell us the special circumstances in which you and Amelia saw it?
Yeah, we saw it for my birthday party with my friends. So that was really fun. And we watched it at the movie theater called BAM, but it was kind of weird. It wasn't just the regular BAM stage. We had to go a whole new building just to see it, so that was kind of annoying, but it was cool to see it.
Yeah, it's at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. That's what BAM stands for. And yeah, I wasn't with you all, but you saw it in not where they have the regular movies. I think it's actually more where they have concerts. I think we saw Dan Zanes before you could even remember this, but we saw a concert there. So I think that's normally what they have in that space. So it was a little bit weird that they had a movie there, right?
Yeah, they also said, showing Black Panther and Shape of Water. And those are both very popular movies, so maybe it's the more advanced theater.
Maybe it's a special case. All right, so let's get to the movie itself. First, let's go round the horn, Nico, Amelia, then me, just to say basically, what did we like the movie, kind of our quick reactions, our quick riew. Nico.
I just loved the movie. I just loved it. It was awesome with, my birthday and everything. And, if I was scared or something, I could just, say, talk with, my friends or something. So I just really liked it.
So you're big thumbs up from Nico. Amelia?
I think it had an amazing contrast to it. It wasn't I'm good and fighting evil and blah, blah, blah. It had some emotion to it. Not I'm the best superhero in the world and I can do anything.
So you liked it?
Yeah.
I liked it as well. I think it might be, we can talk about this a little later, but I think it might be maybe the best or one of the best Marvel movies. I think right up there with Thor and Spider-Man and maybe Avengers Civil War. So I thought it was a fantastic movie. So I think we're all thumbs up all the way around.
Yeah.
Nico?
I do not what I like about Black Panther instead of the other superheroes who have just plain powers, because they have just plain powers, but Black Panther has a suit and all this special technology that basically makes him the Black Panther, and he has all this like other stuff.
Let's talk about his powers a little bit, because it's a little bit, he has a lot of powers. The suit is made from what does anyone remember? The vibranium?
Yeah.
So the suit is made from the vibranium, which is how the Wakanda, all the technology, it's how they're kind of more an advanced civilization.
And the suit is made by his sister, Shuri.
Yes, so his sister is kind of like the technologist. But he also drinks that black, or like it's more like bluish, like kind of like black light.
Purple,
yeah. That also makes him the Black Panther, which I think gives him like extra strength. Do you know?
Maybe extra strength. I don't know what that stuff is, but I know later that this purple stuff gives him extra strength, gives him like the power to like see like a Black Panther, like kind of like notice lots of things like around, and it also I think allows him just to like be the Black Panther.
Yeah, and during challenges for king, like royalty, he will get the powers like taken away from him.
Yeah, why do you think so? In the ceremony to see who is going to be the king, which is also the same thing as being the Black Panther, the king is the Black Panther, the Black Panther is the king. Why do you think they take the powers away in that ceremony?
I think it's because like they want to see your true power before you have the actual power.
I think it's basically they want to see like man on man, right? They don't want anyone to have extra powers to see who is the best, and then they get to drink the power and have the ceremony. Let's talk about what are some of our favorite aspects of this movie. We liked it. So what about it? What are some specific aspects of the movie that made it just a good movie and maybe better than your average superhero movie? Amelia.
Well, I think, like I said, it's not like I'm going to save the day always. It actually has some real emotion to it. I think the Black Panther, he is very kind and generous. There's all these characters moving around him that it's not totally focused on him exactly.
That's a great point. There was really a lot of great characters. Sometimes in these movies, there's like the superhero sidekick, and the bad guy, and then maybe like one like mentor or trainer. But this had all kinds of characters. Nico.
I also liked it because it was like a whole tribe that had all this like special rock and stuff that's all like secret technology. And it's not just like, I have superpowers. I can like shoot lasers out of my eyes. I'm like Superman. Like that. It's more like he doesn't really have that much like powers. Like I said before, he doesn't have just like, he has lots of good fighting skills and stuff, but he doesn't have just like plain powers that he like gets. He like mostly has like the suit and stuff.
I really liked how they, building on what you're saying, Nico, I like how you got to know like the traditions and the culture and all these like the reasons behind why they're the Black Panther, how they decide who's a king, how they decided like what was what was so special about Wakanda. I really felt like I understood a lot of aspects of it.
I also liked how like it really got to you to like know all the characters really well. So like that was good. So you like know where they live like in Wakanda, and like tells you all like the characters and how they have like that cool language and stuff. And I just like love all of it.
So let's talk about, since we're all acknowledging that there's a lot of great characters. What were some of your favorite non-Black Panther characters?
I really liked the sister, as I said before, whose name was Shuri. She's the one who runs all the tech things, like the car that you're actually not driving. You're doing it from home, but you're actually on the streets. And it's a real solid thing. Like, she does all those things that are really cool.
Yeah, and she's played by Latia Wright, I believe. I hope I pronounced that right. But yeah, she's a great actress. She's actually going to be she's in Ready Player One, which is a movie we're excited about coming out. So we'll see her again very shortly. Nico, what was one of your favorite characters that wasn't Black Panther?
I think I like the same girl that like the sister too. I think she was my favorite overall still, because she was probably the funniest character in the thing. She was like just hilarious. She said stuff like, when you first said that we were like, I was going to see California for a first time, I thought it was that I was gonna see Coachella.
Yeah, that was a good line, right? It sort of towards the end. I'm trying to think who my favorite other character was. I liked so many different characters. I loved the general. What was her name? That was like the best warrior in Wakanda. Okoye, played by Denai Guerra, who's also in the show The Walking Dead. I love that character. I like so many of the characters. I actually thought that Andy Serkis, who played the Ulysses Claw, the guy the guy you thought was going to be the main bad guy, and then he kind of wasn't by midway in the movie. Mm-hmm. What I like about him is that Andy Serkis you don't usually see him act, because he usually is the guy that does the motion capture. So he's the guy that is the motion capture Gollum, Planet of the Apes, King Kong, and Lord Snoke on Star Wars. So it was kind of fun to see him actually be a character, not just like creating the computer guy.
I also thought he was really freaky.
Yeah, he was weird. Well, anyone who sees him as Gollum knows that is one creepy guy. But he's a great actor, I think, if you consider all those roles. All right, so here's a question I want to throw at you guys. This is a little bit more, we're all agree this is a little bit more than your average superhero movie. We all agree on that. What do you think this movie was trying to say about broader society? What were some important messages, do you think, in this movie?
I think one of the things is...
The themes
is be nice to black people and treat them fairly. Because, they were all black, and they had all that crazy technology. And also, that's what started the war in the first place, is that, the bad guy wanted, the black people to be treated, more fair.
I think another aspect of this is the women point of view, because, well, first of all the Wakanda tribe, their soldiers were women. The girl who made the tech stuff, like I said, it's a girl. So I think that was pretty cool.
So I think those are great points. And I think an important thing about this movie is that, do you often see African American or black people or women as the stars of superhero movies?
No.
So that's a really important part of this movie, is we see different stories, different cultures, different points of view. And sometimes that's called representation. You want to see people that look like you, that think like you. You want to see different cultures in movies, not just the same people over and over again.
I think that will make it more interesting.
Why does that make it more interesting?
Because you get, even though if you disagree with the idea, it'll make you think more about the movie. And then you come to a point where you're like, wait, actually, I'm wrong, and these guys are right, because there's more sides to the story.
I also like it because, it's not you. It's let's say you're just a regular white person and you see them all the time. But then, in this movie, it's not just a regular white person like in any regular movie. It's black people. It's different. It's better.
One thing, I agree with all of that. One thing I really loved about this was that you got to see more of the history of Africa and different cultures. And so we're often... to build off your point, Nico, when we see stories that are based in kind of European or white narratives, we get the same thing over and over again. We don't learn about as much things. I loved the way they kind of talked about the traditions and some of the culture and history of Africa. And even though Wakanda is obviously a made-up place, I think it was pulling in a lot of that stuff.
I was just about to ask about Africa, is Wakanda a made-up place, but then you just answered.
Yeah, it is a made-up place, but they draw a lot of it was based on real-world stuff. They just happened to make up this fake country. It's a superhero still. It's still a comic book movie.
Yeah, I was just about to say it was based on a comic book, like I saw in the credits, based on a comic book by blah blah blah.
Right. All right. So let's get out of here on this. So your main takeaway for Black Panther, and does this make you more or less excited for the next Avengers movie?
I really think this kind of is a great movie. I think what you should know about this movie is it is different. The villain is different. Usually the villain's killing people, but this villain is trying to steal stuff. Trying in some minds people think it's good, but in this movie, they put you in the mindset that it is not good. And I think it makes you very, very excited for the new Avengers movie, because Black Panther is in it but we don't know how.
I think this is just an awesome movie. And about the villains, I think it's a different villain because, like, most villains have, like, special arms or special superpowers or some weird thing about them, but this villain just is, like, a regular person that's, like, trying to steal, who's, like, knows how to steal and has Wakanda's, like, people on his team. And I think it's a very good, like, movie and everything that you should really watch. I think it's going to be very exciting because, like, Black Panther's going to be in the next, like, movie, Avengers movie, and also the girl that, like, one of the girls that was in there. So that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, the sister is going to be in the Avengers movie as well. I just think, as some of the things we talked about, I think it's a kind of superhero and some characters that we don't normally see. It's one of the reasons I love the movie. Also, it's just a good superhero movie.
Yeah.
A lot of action. The plot was interesting. Like, sometimes these superhero movies can get a little bit boring and the same. So this one was different in that way. That's why I think it's just so popular and such a good movie. It's better than just it's more than a superhero movie in some ways, I would say. And then I'm pretty excited about Avengers because this Avengers is bringing together everybody. Black Panther, Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, all the regular Avengers. So it's going to be a party. All right, so thumbs up all around. We'd love to hear what you think. Tweet at us at ChrisLarry33, comment on our Facebook page, all that stuff. Or Instagram, all that stuff will be in the show description. Of course, if you've got your own fresh take on Black Panther, we'd love to run it on the Larry's Pop Pod, and you get 2 free tickets, maybe that you can bank to see the Avengers coming up this summer. So thanks again, Nico, friend of the pod, our Mr. Movie Man, and we'll be right back with Radio 321 Olympic Recap. Hello, it's Chris again from the Larry's Pop Pod. Just want to do a little bit of an intro to this next segment. You might have noticed, if you've been a regular listener of late, that we've been running more and more segments by a larger cast of kids and youth. And that's because we've been running an after-school program and really working on what it's like to use the Larry's Pop Pod as a vehicle and a show to get more kids, more youth into podcasting and thinking about storytelling and sharing their thoughts and about the production and the art side of things. So we've been running a after-school program at a local elementary school, and we've had about 15 youth work with us for about the last 8 weeks. And the next segment you'll hear is a segment that they pretty much produced on their own. They did the engineering, they set up the mic, they did a good amount of the editing, they designed and wrote all the content, they did the art for this episode. And you've also heard them a little bit over the past, the Super Bowl episode, so on and so forth. We have one more segment or episode to go with these kids, and then we're going to be doing this after-school program again a little bit later on in the spring. I'm also thinking about how to turn this into a curriculum and how to have it so that there's a program and a way for more kids to A, get into podcasting, and then B, to contribute to the Larry's Pop Pod and really build out this nation of youth podcasters all contributing to this podcast, and maybe even better yet, starting their own. As you listen to this next segment, we produced it in the after-school program with our 15 youth producers. I hope you enjoy. If you have ideas about how to contribute or to help push my thinking about how to do this, please reach out to me at chrislarry33@gmail.com or on Twitter at chrislarry33. I'd love to discuss it with you. And without further ado, here is our Radio 321 podcasters.
Hello, this is Radio 321 with Case and
Amelia. What are your names?
Nico and Rachel.
What were some of the topics in the Winter Olympics?
Well, today we'll be doing figure skating, ice dancing, hockey, Germany and OAR, skiing, giant slalom, alpine skiing, and yeah, that's all.
What is your favorite Winter Olympic sport?
Mine is definitely ice dancing. What's yours, Nico? Mine is figure skating.
Mine is probably figure skating too.
Mine is either hockey or skiing. What country did you root for during the Winter Olympics?
I rooted for South Korea because
Like it's being held in South Korea. I like Pyeongchang. I also rooted for Brazil because my dad is Brazilian. I'm part Brazilian, and I rooted for USA.
Rachel?
I rooted for USA because I'm from USA, and that makes sense.
I rooted for USA.
Oh, I rooted for Germany, Holland, and South Korea because I'm from there.
What are your favorite Winter Olympians?
My favorite is Adam Rippon because he's a sparkly diva. Like, at the end of his performance, people will clap, and he'll be like, more, more.
I think I like Chloe Kim and Shaun White, which are both half-pipe snowboarders, and they were awesome in this Olympics.
I like Shaun White, and I also like Chloe Kim, and I like Adam Rippon, and I also like Nathan Chen, and there's probably someone I'm forgetting, so whatever that Olympian is, sorry, but don't have a good memory.
I like Chloe Kim, and I also like Nathan Chen, and I like Felix Schultz. What was your favorite performance during the Winter Olympics?
Again, I'm going to have to go with Adam Rippon.
I'm probably going to go with Chloe Kim when she did her great snowboarding. I'm probably going to go with Shaun White when he did his great snowboarding. And I'm also probably going to do that really eventful one with Nathan Chen. Yeah.
I think my favorite performance was when Shaun White just killed it, and it was a gold medal run.
Oh, mine was the skeleton where a South Korean won the gold during the skeleton. Also, I liked the hockey game, even though I was kind of disappointed that Russia won. Are you happy with the Olympic outcome?
Somewhat, but the parts where America didn't win, that I wasn't happy with that because I was rooting for America.
I think basically, but some American half-pipe snowboarders didn't get what they fully deserved, and I think they had to get a little bit more, so some of it is kind of weird.
Well, I'm pretty happy with the Olympic outcome because Germany got second place, but I wish they got first. But in the hockey game, I was a little bit disappointed that they lost against the Olympic athletes of Russia.
So we have a surprise segment. We are going to talk about some new things that we have loved this year and new DIY things. I think we are all excited for the movie Wrinkle in Time.
I read the book and it was awesome.
Yeah, same here.
Black Panther was a great movie and I watched it, so I bet most people are excited for that.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I'm sure it was amazing. I also really enjoyed Fuller House because I like Full House better, but Fuller House is still good. Just saying.
I like this show called Modern Family.
I like a show that I recently started watching called My Babysitter's a Vampire. I've never watched things like that, so it's cool. So our DIY segment is, since Easter's coming up, you can make little Q-tip flags and put them in your eggs.
And also, you could light up headboards.
You could make your own cars, like woodblock race cars.
There's super cool make your own Halloween decorations like RIP stones.
And whittling's one of my favorites too. You could whittle anywhere if you have a knife.
Well, you could do paper chains for Valentine's Day. You put paper around in a loop and then staple it together and then put another one through it and do the same thing until it's long enough.
Oh, okay, cool. This is Case.
This is Amelia.
This is Rachel.
This is Nico. Signing out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.